We live in a society.
The world is such an interesting place. No matter what decade from the past or the present, society exists no matter you want it or not. Even if you try to break away the illusion, there is no perfect utopia with no systematic problem where you take a drug and forgot all your puny sorrows. Society will hate you eventually. A lot of great films have explored that topic, with how the characters react to them. It is said that Hollywood movies are described as a struggle of representation over how to build a social world and everyday life. From the US politics and the film industry, the role of Hollywood in Bush War on Terror. And since the characters are the vehicles that allow us to explore those worlds, let's see how society changes them, and the characters stand up against them. Cause why not? We might even discover something interesting when we compare them at the end. Let's start with the lowest class in history. Slaves. No, I swear I'm being serious. In the 1968 Planet of the Apes film, we follow George Taylor, who is treated as a slave. Because, spoilers, humanity nuked itself, with the world now ruled by the monkeys, as the humans are so dumb they can't even speak. Aside from the main character, Taylor crash landed on Earth in the future, which he initially thought is another planet. It's only at the very end of the movie he realized the truth. But in the center, he is being enslaved as he lost the ability to speak, but has to find ways to get the monkey's attention. Even when he did eventually,
"Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!"
he still needs to prove himself to the higher class monkeys, reflecting as the Cold War at the time, as only the working class believes him. As it's said, apes are democrated by the same temperaments, professions, and dress as they were in the films, as they are in real life. From Planet of the Apes, The Complete History by Sean Egan. Despite that, Taylor is willing to fight against those odds and rise above the society. He turned from a person who detached from humanity and society norms, as he believed humanity are superior to those societal needs, to realizing the society and the system of bringing Nova to his life are the things that keeping him sane and alive. In an ape system that has been viewing humans as slaves, as unintelligent beings, with only the middle class trying to stand up against the system, where we are made to believe the upper class apes are the bad guys, of refusing to accept Taylor. It's only at the end of the film we realized he knows humans are the ones who nuked the earth, and that's why the upper class monkeys are avoiding to grant him freedom.
You are a menace, a walking pestilence. I do know who you are, Taylor.
As films like Planet of the Apes, instead of bury in the subtext, social commentary becomes the dominant organization principles and thematic center of the film. From Escape Velocity, American science fiction film 1950 to 1982 by Bradley Schroeder, the film is able to portray the upper class as protecting their own society in a nuanced manner while they are shutting down the lower classes, against a guy who thinks that humanity is always superior, as we are rooting for him fighting against the system.
Cornelius was right, Doctor. He proved it. Man was here first. You owe him your science, your culture, whatever civilization you've got.
Then answer me this. If man was superior, why didn't he survive?
Only at the end of a movie he understands the system, why they are trying to keep him a secret, as he damns humanity. It's bloody brilliant. Let's head to the working class. In the world of Taxi Driver, we might find something interesting. Travis is a taxi driver who hated the corrupted city, as he's desperate for someone to change it, reflecting upon New York City filed for bankruptcy at the time, with prostitutions and crimes everywhere.
Whatever it is, he should clean up this city here, because this city here is like an open sewer, you know? It's full of filth and scum.
Taxi Driver speaks to a continual importance in the world and inability to change and to create change. A lack of alternatives within the American culture.
But it's not going to be easy. We're going to have to make some radical changes.
Damn straight.
By the films of Martin Scorsese, 1963 to 1977, by Langston Grist. Since the people with power are unwilling to change, with none of the people above the system are willing to accept him, he has to change. But he realized he could not do it to the upper class politicians, as their status and wealth made them invincible. He realized he has to do something smaller, saving Iris, a 12-year-old girl who is forced to do child prostitution. Because the corrupted system of the rich not caring the poor, and the poor has the freedom to exploit other people, who Traffic has been bonding over and trying to talk her out of it. But because that doesn't work out, he has to do it in violent means that almost cost his life, as making change in society no matter how small is not easy. Like what the politician Valentina has said, as the film doesn't completely disagree with the higher classes in society. Taxi Driver premise drives more from the realm of fantasy than from the realm of experience, in search of a self-aggrandizing story to enact. From Hollywood's frontier captives, Barbara Mortimer, at the end he gets the girl back, and the city views him as a hero, trying to push boundaries in society, while playing by its own rules. It's bloody excellent. 1956 Invasion of the Body Snatcher, which is the only version of the film I've seen. But anyways, the arrogant Dr. Miles Bennett, the most famous doctor in town, has to face off a body-snatching invasion created by the same hive mind, while having to save his girlfriend.
Tomorrow you won't want them to. Tomorrow you'll be one of us.
I love Becky. Tomorrow will I feel the same?
It is said the 1956 film reflects the fear of communism invasion, as the loss of humanity and individualism reflects the effects of communism. From physicians, society, and the science fiction genre in a film version of Invasion of Body Snatcher, or Doctors Within a Serious Pod Complex, by Brad S. Devermeer. While Bennett is trying to reconnect with his humanity and the society, while fighting against society who suppresses it, which they actually give a point to the antagonist, a utopia that there will be no conflict. But the way they do so is by taking over the world, something Bennett would not let that happen. But he realized he has to blend into their mindset in order to stop the invasion, stop the growth of the society, as you can't fight against something if you don't understand. Bennett keep on pushing and fighting the invasion, even when his friend including Becky has turned, as the course of the movie keep removing his society status. He retains his values and refuses to comply no matter what, against this communistic view of everyone being equal, as he's getting more and more paranoid. As stated in the 50s and 40s, communism has infiltrated American society, and American citizens are encouraged to be watchful and report any suspicious behavior at the time. From the return of the pop people remaking cultural anxieties in Invasion of the Body Snatchers by Kathleen Locke, and his attitude against this system paid off, alerting the world about this, knowing the worldwide societal threat will be dealt with, even after losing everything and his own status, unwilling to lose his humanity, finally given a chance to sleep. It's bloody amazing. Falling Down follows William Foster, who formerly works for a government in missile defense, as he tries to get to his daughter's birthday, but is very unhappy with the roadblocks along the way, and societal issues he has to deal with that resort to violence. The film's director comment on angry African American films overtly reads like a clear statement of white male cultural hegemony, implying a definitive film treatment of anger cannot be made just by the marginal group, but must proceed from a culturally central, permanent identity. From gender, ethnicity, and cultural crisis in Falling Down and Groundhog Day, Jude Davis. You see, what's interesting about this story is they did not paint William being good or bad. All his devious actions are justified with wanting to come home to see his daughter, and most of his actions are done out of self-defense, or just like us, expressing the frustration with the system.
Just standing up for my rights as a consumer. Good freedom of religion. Now you get the swing of it. Feels good to exercise your rights. You got all these beautiful acres fenced in for your little game, but you gotta kill me with a golf ball?
Only after he realized his action has caused panic among kids and harming people who are just trying to survive in the system, he starts to realize his mistakes, as this is how the system screwed him over.
I lost my job. Well, actually, I didn't lose it. It lost me. I'm overeducated, underskilled. I did everything they told me to. Did you know I build missiles? Yeah. I help to protect America? I'm not economically viable. I can't even support my own kid. You should be rewarded for that. Instead they give it to the plastic surgeon, they lied to me.
A society caring more about making money than the people in need. When he's finally reunited with his daughter, he's stopped by the policeman, who understands people like him, as he starts to realize what he has done.
I'm the bad guy?
He explains just because you are screwed by the system doesn't justify what you have done, as society screws everyone over. It does not justify you causing harm to others. From Entanglements of Power by Rowan Pattinson. What the film pointed to was the power of the system not as a potent symbol of subaltern freedom, but as an indicator and diagnostic of power. As he reflects on how much harm he caused today is to help his daughter. And in order to provide for his daughter, he tricks the cop to shoot him, cheating the system created by society, who only cares about earning for the economy, making the cop stay and help people under the system, for once not for himself, but for someone he cares about, as he believes what he did is the right thing. It's bloody fantastic. Those are not just the only movie that talks about society, especially the great ones. Although they have different tone, different genre, characters are in different status, and even facing different societal issues. But what they have in common is the protagonist's unwillingness to yield before them, no matter what period they are in. Well, yes, the characters has different ways of doing so, not to mention different reasons, from trying to meet his daughter again, to saving the world. Still, sacrifices has to be made. But this is the cost of changing society. You have to push yourself to do it, while society will not make it easy for you. Which is how different era of history came to be. And here's the thing. As we have discussed with the 4 films, society is very nuanced. Even the more overtly bad ones has their more understandable reasons, and the benefits of their own system. And sometimes you might even blame it too much. You blame everything you did as society's problem, instead of what you did. Great films allows you to reflect upon it, making you question the morality of the system and yourself. Turncoats, Traders, and Fellow Travelers, written by Arthur Redding. Popular culture at the time domesticated a presumably unworthy working class masculinity into consensual middle class normativity, while championing the possibility of anti-conformist, autonomous individualism within the new order. It is a headache to break down as what you're doing is completely right or wrong. The world alongside the society has many shades of grey. But one thing that's true is, can the characters and you stand up against society? Can you keep going even the odds are stacked against you? Even when everything seems so hopeless, can you change society for the better? No matter how much society changed you, can you pick yourself back up? Redeem what you have done. The world is not sunshine and rainbows. Society is mean and will absolutely change you. And no matter how tough you are, society will absolutely beat you to the ground, challenging what you believe in. But it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much society pushes you down, but still making it a better place. That's how Winner is done. That's how all the characters I mentioned still get their happy ending, even beyond the grave, despite they might not be completely morally justified. And those are not just the only films that explore that. Terminator, addressing woman's place in the world when she's out of her comfort zone. Rambo, addressing how society treats the war veterans and how they struggle to find a place in the system. On the waterfront, of how to fight the hierarchy when the upper classes are trying to crush the working class, despite seen as typical Hollywood blockbusters, or willing to address societal issues. The War on Terror, an American film, set shortly after the outbreak of the war, there's a shift in American film industry, even if they don't really do it in limited fashion. Poorly executed films like MASH also done so as well, trying to portray the characters standing up against the higher-ups. American films inspire us, make us think about the world, not to mention the society we are in. And that's the power of going into a great American film. A lot of nuance and subtext.